This channel is for the diaspora who are considering either visiting or living here in Africa. Welcome to part 2 of a series of conversations we had with young adults living in Rwanda. Why young adults, you may ask? Because the latest statistics show that 20 to 30-year-olds, they're the largest group here. What they have to say about culture, language, and the challenges they face is definitely going to help you. Thanks, and listen in.
There's a certain demographic of teenagers.
I see what you're saying.
Like, for example, obviously not everybody does travel, but you find like the middle class, middle, upper middle, and like the wealthier people. The teenagers around those, which are mostly the circles which we're in, a lot of them tend to be slightly westernized in a sense.
Okay.
So like coming here, English really isn't a problem. Like if you know like one or two people, you'll meet plenty of other people who speak the language just as fluently. So language barrier usually isn't that much of a thing. So you find that over the summers, stuff like that, you find a lot of people are flying out. Mostly Belgium, France, Canada, and also within the region.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why those countries?
Francophone.
Because if you look at the history of Rwanda, we were colonized by
Belgium.
Belgium?
Yeah.
That's right.
Belgium.
Yeah.
Okay.
The roots of the
sense.
country in itself are very European.
They're more familiar.
With the French language.
Okay.
So you find that most of the parents also are francophone in one way or another, or half family in Belgium, France, European countries.
Wow.
So during the summer, they like to send their kids to visit the family, maybe Scapa High School.
Keep the connection.
Keep the connection alive.
Gotcha.
Okay.
The teacher calls you, it's good.
All right. So you all were saying that young folks will go to visit other countries, but they're maybe going to connect with family, maybe going to school to further their education, things like that kind of stuff. Yeah. So what kind of challenges do they face? I mean, is that an easy transition to be able to do that, to swing about?
I don't think so, because they're not used to the country they're going to, even if they have family. But I think for them, for example, people who go there for school, I don't think it's easy for them to make new friends because maybe of how their personality is.
Yeah.
So I think no, really, it's not easy for them.
Okay.
Me personally, I think it depends on the country they're going to. Because like I said, within certain demographics, you find for example, a kid who's been highly westernized. Grew up on cartoons, Cartoon Network, MTV, stuff like that.
Right.
Going over to the States it's like just slipping into a second skin.
Gotcha.
It is.
You just
some of them come back. Some of them come back. Okay. Or they go and it's like they've been living there their whole lives. It's just that it takes a lot longer to get places because America is vast.
Yeah.
Right.
So mostly it depends, and also for example, if they're francophone, because I do have some francophone friends. For them, it's a lot easier to go to places like Belgium because a lot of francophone countries, even within Africa, like Senegal, Côte d'Ivoire, all those places. Guys going over to places like France and Belgium and all of the French-speaking countries. The French culture, the French language comes with its own culture, and it's very easy to integrate.
I can see that.
To integrate the two. Once you speak the language, it's much easier to get into the culture as well.
Well, do me this favor then. Go through the grocery list of countries. You already did Belgium and sort of France. What about Canada or?
Canada is the next.
Africa.
No, actually, I think for Rwanda specifically, the grocery list of countries, Belgium is usually at the top, but that's Belgium and France are tied for number one.
Because of the history.
For history and also mostly for the francophone community.
Okay.
Next is Canada.
Yeah, Canada.
Canada is packed.
Is French-speaking Canada?
No.
English-speaking Canada.
Both.
Oh, okay.
Because
Canada is packed
with Rwandans.
With
Rwandans too.
And Burundians, because East African in general have somehow found a way to migrate a large number of them to Canada. Because I can name 7 different families, right? And all of them, they're all in Canada, right? And then it's like, because
Like
at first,
Okay.
in the earlier years, right, there was this, I don't know how to say it, but in the beginning, right, many families within Rwanda or East Africa migrated to the States, right? Because that's where you went for their education, you know, the American dream, you know, like job opportunities, money. Because that's what they will preach to us, you know, you need to finish school and then you go to the States, you start making money, you know, get that cash, bro. So you find that most of my friends somehow find a way to go to the States to college or whatever, right? But then they will come back and then, you know what, they will switch and then they'll be like, I'm going to Canada. And the reason for that would be like, they are not feeling safe within the States, right? Because most of my friends, they will come back after one semester, come back to like visit the family in Rwanda, and then tell their parents, I don't feel like I should go back, I want to switch.
Right.
Can I go to Canada instead?
Right.
Can I go to Belgium or France, something else, but I don't feel safe within the States? And like I feel like I'm being isolated because I don't have that many people, to talk to. So they'll be like, let me go to Canada. I have family there. I have cousins. I have nieces. So let me just go there, and then we'll see where it goes.
It's something you say that because we've seen a few movies on Netflix, and the people were in Canada. So I was like, oh, okay, yeah, it was interesting to see that. There were, I forget where they were from the country in Africa, but I know they were in Canada. I was like, okay, this is interesting.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Especially within Toronto and
That's where it was. Yeah.
Toronto, Ottawa, Nova Scotia, around
Right.
there. It's surprised there's a large number of who go over there.
Yeah.
I think it's because Canada, you're basically getting like sort of the American experience.
Right.
Without
L-I-T-E.
without the significantly less chance of being shot.
That's what I was going to say. Some of the less of the issues that go on, like you say, in the States, like you say, they feel a little more safer, I guess you say.
I think it was a friend of mine who came back one time and we're talking about he went to Utah. And his name is Jason.
Utah?
That was my exact reaction. That right there. No, when he got, I was like, Jason, Utah.
Yeah.
That's on you, bro.
It was like, listen, boy, it was like, I'm doing a basketball scholarship, nigga, college. But it's still in the back of my mind. So it was like, America's funny, you know. Getting first of all used to how y'all measure stuff like in feet, pounds, ounces, stuff like that. At a certain point, I was like, bro, over there in America, y'all measure stuff like hot dogs per square bullet. Y'all would do it.
Well, let me ask you all this. Do you see yourselves venturing out to other countries just to stick your toe in the water?
Germany.
Woo!
Okay, so each of you. All right, Germany. Go ahead and tell us a little. Why Germany?
College. Also, like it's cheap. Like I used to want to go over to the States for college. Then I saw you had to like sign somewhere. I think like an arm and a leg. The first 4
Really?
years.
Oh yeah.
No, like it's a thing. Like Google America. There's gonna be in varying degrees the Kardashians, Donald Trump versus Biden. College. College death or something like that. And something about some celebrities within varying degrees of each other. So I was like, Jesus Christ, I don't know if I want to become an indentured servant all over again.
Yeah.
The chances, I don't want to do anything over. So I decided to look up the course which I want to do.
Yeah.
And there's a college which does that in Germany.
Wow.
They have it in English, so I won't have to Guten Tag.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's
where
what I want to
would
do.
your area of interest be?
Computer science. I am huge.
I mean, that's a huge, wide open field.
Data science specifically,
okay.
that particular subset. But first, I want to do computer science, then venture off into data science because it's still a relatively new field. There's lots of career opportunity in there, and also because Germany is in the middle of Europe and I'm a huge travel guy.
Okay.
Every summer holiday basically it's gonna be like going by train all over the place. Within Europe.
Within there, yeah.
Obviously I might go over to the States sometime, but it's not like a huge thing for me.
That's good.
Okay, cool. So Nicole?
Mine, Canada. I wanted to go to Canada, but I feel like now I want to go to South Africa. because I feel like the vibe there is just the music,
Yeah.
the people, but also the college. I feel like they have a slightly advanced education.
Right, right.
So, yeah.
That's good.
Ooh, okay. When you mention the music, do you do music?
I love to sing.
What genre? Oh, yeah, man, you were whispering back. What did he say?
No, I was saying she's an amazing
She's
singer.
an amazing singer.
Oh, okay.
Alright.
We heard you a little bit a few months back.
Yeah, I love to sing. I love music.
What's your genre?
R&B.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who do you sound like? Wait a minute. You got to give two
Myself?
answers. One, oh,
I like that. I like that. Yes. That's good.
okay. Let me
Maybe say-
help the questions. Yes.
Maybe say, what singers do you kind of like
yeah.
that you kind of,
Thank you,
some of their
darling.
music, or you might want to sing their songs or whatever, you know.
I feel like Beyonce does it for me, but also her, if you know.
Oh yeah, I like her. I like her.
Yeah, she's cool.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Good.
That's
Good
it.
company.
Yes. Okay. Teddy.
Teddy.
First of all, I want to go to Canada because wait,
It's a sibling.
because it's not a sibling thing because we have a lot of family in Canada.
Yeah.
Okay.
So my logic was that I'll be in college, but I have friends. So,
Yes. It's a
so like
win-win.
the balance, yeah. But then recently I changed my mind. I want to go to Tokyo, Japan.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Tokyo,
Daniel's.
Japan.
We have folks in our studio audience who also been to Tokyo,
Tokyo,
Japan.
Japan,
Did
because
my son influence you?
Represent.
Oh, you went to Tokyo?
Yeah.
yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Graduation.
My dad and I went to Japan.
Oh.
Yeah.
2017. Yeah.
And, but
So go on.
so you want to go to Tokyo?
Yeah, Tokyo, Japan, because my field of interest is aerospace engineering.
Oh, it's
Or
good.
aeronautical engineering. Basically, it's basically the study of aircraft, how they operate, how you build them, how you maintain them, and especially in the aviation industry really took a hit.
Yes.
Many planes were grounded. Many were damaged during the time they were grounded because there were so many like job cuts. So you find like a company, like let's say American Airways or something like that, right? You find that they have a fleet of planes. Let's say, for example, I'm not sure, maybe like 500 planes, for example. And then you find they only have like 150 employees.
Oh,
You find they only have 150 employees supposed to maintain and make sure that all the planes are still
Oh my
operational,
goodness.
right?
Yeah.
So I think during that time it created an opening for like a younger generation, a more ready, less experienced, true, where we're not yet prepared, but there are tools for us to prepare. We
Right.
can go to college, we can go to academies, we can train, because the way the world is going, people still need to fly. Right? The aviation industry, even though it took a hit, it will get back on its feet and people will still need to fly. Because flying is the most convenient, fastest way to travel around the world.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
I
Well, wait a
think-
minute. I have a question for you with regards to the plane sitting and not flying. So, my understanding is this true. My understanding is that if a ship is not at sea, if a plane is not up in the air, it's actually deteriorating.
True.
And so, because of the situation that occurred, they really weren't doing their purpose.
Their purpose, because a plane has very sensitive instruments within it, and like the engineering part of it is so massive, it usually takes a bit, at least in a normal engineering team that maintains a plane, that at least it must be gone over by at least 7 engineers before it takes off.
Okay.
Before it takes off, right? And so all of that, a plane sitting in a hangar for years, for months, without taking off, in itself, I wouldn't trust passengers to get on the plane and the
Yeah.
plane takes
I
off.
can see that.
So what I would say is that that's why, like, before I wasn't sure if I wanted to go into aerospace engineering, right? But after that, like quarantine and all of that, I became like, it reinforced my decision to go into aerospace engineering because I found a passion there because that's what I like doing.
So, would you obtain a pilot's license?
Yeah.
So
I would. I would first.
Yeah, for us.
For you. What do you mean? I would obtain a pilot license, but first of all, I'll go into the engineering because basically, by the time you can tell what's wrong with a plane and can build it and can do all of that, the flying part isn't really like that difficult. I think so. Perfectly.
Oh, cool. Okay. All right.
Wow.
Well, let's change it up just a little bit because you all, when you were talking about that Tokyo thing, it seemed like y'all got questions. Were there questions you had for Marlene and I, or even in the studio audience questions? Just, I mean, the fact that we came from the United States, or anything about that? What
Before you came to Rwanda, have you guys been? Is Rwanda the first African country you've been here to, or like did you move around?
First African country.
It's the first.
This is your first.
Just the
time.
first
Yes,
stop.
first.
Oh.
You guys,
Okay.
you guys picked an
Yes.
amazing destination. I
Yeah.
imagine.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we were glad. We're all said we're glad we came here.
Did
Yeah.
did you guys like think about it before you came, or you were like,
Yeah.
let's just go there?
Oh no,
See where
we
it
thought
goes.
about it. We
Yeah, a long time.
research, Google, YouTube was our best friend. Yeah, that's how we found out to kind of know to come. Yeah.
What was while you were doing that research? What was like the one thing whereby you're like, okay, yeah, Rwanda's the place. This is where
I think safety and security and the cleanliness.
Yes.
Yeah.
The
Yes.
cleanliness. Just it honestly, it made me think of Tokyo or Kyoto or Osaka.
What were the people like? Wait, did you go there because of anime?
Yeah,
a little bit.
And there were several in our group. We were part of a tour package that were there for anime too. Because I remember, in fact, but anyway, the point is, here we are thousands of miles from the U.S. And we had been to a few cities by then, and I was getting tired, and Daniel wanted to go out. And there was, I don't know, a few friends that were in the group. There was a subgroup within the big group, and the subgroup would go out after the tour ended in the regular day and go out and do more touring.
Yeah.
I feel like that's
And they just were hopping. And I said, I'm not going. And I just felt comfortable that he could go out, and even though we can't read Japanese, except to say konnichiwa or something like that. And they jumped on the subway and they went wherever they were going to go, and I was cool with it, and I was like, well, I guess we're
Wait, so
good.
how were y'all treated like as Americans while you were there? Like, what's the Japanese people's attitude towards Americans in general?
Well, my opinion, and you can respond since you're in the studio audience there on your own, but my opinion is they are courteous, but they're courteous because it's their culture to be courteous. Don't misinterpret that they're thinking highly of you particularly. So it hit me, I think, weeks later. I was trying to put two and two together, and I realized, don't misinterpret that which is part of a cultural standard that they're just going to do. It's not because we necessarily like you.
It's just who we are.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Interesting.
Wait, so like.